Hello, my name is Marsha Wise and I'm going to do a tutorial on empowerment dolls. These dolls are used in all different cultures across many thousands of years, and today we're going to learn how to make a very simple version of this. The material you're going to need is going to be fabric. This can come in the form of quilting squares from any craft store. You'll need to make sure that you have a template. You can use tracing paper over that to make it easier for you to cut your fabric out. You'll need pins, needles, and thread. You'll need beads or embellishments and jut or yarn. You'll need to make sure that you have polyfill or cotton balls. You'll need very sharp scissors. You'll need to make sure that you have a small piece of fabric for your sachet, a small ribbon, a personal item of empowerment, a stone, jewelry, herbs, whatever works for you, a sheet of paper, a little strip of paper, and a pen. And so what we're going to do, the first thing is you're going to take your two pieces of fabric. You need to make sure you have two. They do not have to match, but they do need to be roughly the same size. You'll need to take these two and you'll need to put the print side inward so that they're facing each other. At that point, you'll want to take your template and you'll want to attach it to your fabric with pins. You'll see that I have a pin here and here and here and over here. There's just 4 pins holding this on, but it does hold on both pieces of fabric. At this point, you're going to want to cut your doll. I've already started one right here, and I'm going to go ahead and continue it. And as you cut it out, you want to make sure that you stay on the outside of your template because you don't want your doll to be too small. You'll see that sometimes it'll snag, and that's okay. You just kind of cut it like that. So now you'll have a little doll like this, with the template's traced out or cut out, and you'll just go ahead and start to remove the pins. Place them back on your doll. As you do that, you'll just go ahead and pull that paper off, and you'll follow that all the way around until the paper is completely taken off. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and sew your doll. You want to make sure you get all the way around the perimeter with a whip stitch. Whip stitch is very simple. You simply go in one way and out the other. You'll see I'm going to do a couple right here. It's just in and out. Make sure that you get all the way into both pieces of fabric. It's nothing worse than a loose seam. And you'll want to do the entire perimeter, leaving at least 1 to 1.5 inches of space so that you can turn your doll inside out. Now here you'll see the next step. At this point in time, I've already started to turn the doll right side out. You'll continue to pull. You want to make sure that you get all of the seams, all the tucks pulled out so that you have all of your space open. And you'll want to start to stuff it. Now the doll or the polyfill does come in big chunks. You'll want to just kind of pull some pieces off and stick it down in there. And you'll see I'm doing a little bit right here. You'll want to fill half the doll up. You want to make sure that it's nice and tight. So you want to put it in the head, the arms, and at least half the torso. This is a doll that is halfway completed. You'll see the arms and the head are firm and the torso is half filled. At this point, we're going to make our empowerment sachet. So you'll want to take your piece of fabric, you'll want to write your empowerment onto your strip of paper. I've already done so. This one says Empower Me with Abundance. You'll want to fold it up into a little piece, put it in the center of your sachet. Take your empowerment item, stick that in the center, and then you'll want to fold this like a wonton wrapper. Just a point to point to point to point where it kind of creates a little packet. You'll take your ribbon and you'll tie it around it really tight, and then you'll just make a knot. At this point, you'll want to make sure that you have it all good and tied up. Stick it inside of your doll. And it can come in any direction you want to. This one happens to be open on the bottom. You'll stuff it inside and you'll continue to stuff the doll and fill it all the way until it's nice and firm. When it's done, the doll should look similar to this. You'll see that it still has a little opening here. I'm going to go ahead and continue to seam it up right here, close it up. You want to make sure that you've got the seams turned in so that you don't have any strings hanging out. When you're done sewing that, the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to attach eyes. I have already attached one here. These are buttons. You can use a 2-hole or a 4-hole button. This will be sewn on just like you would a regular button, nothing too fancy with that. When you've completed both of your eyes, your doll is going to look similar to this one. You'll see that I have both eyes attached. At that point, you're going to take some fabric strips and you're going to attach it to the top of the head. And then after that, you'll want to take your jut, and this is kind of the strips that the jut comes into. You can use whatever color, and you'll take it, cut it into small strips, make a knot in the bottom, add a stopper bead and a bigger bead, and you can continue on until you have something that looks similar to this. Now what you'll do is you'll attach this to the top of the head of the doll, and you will just simply sew it on until it's in place. You'll want to make sure that it's nice and tight so they don't flop all over the place. After you've completed that, this is what your doll should look like. It has eyes and it has beads and it is completely empowered. Thank you.